Good afternoon, parents of my English students and my French students. I hope you are doing well. This is kind of weird times, but I am glad that I am able to at least send you something that kind of gives you an idea of what we're doing in class. So, first of all, I will start with my French students. Let me get to the part that I need to show you. Okay, so basically what I do in my French classes, since this is the second year that I've had them, we are kind of doing a review at the beginning of the year, but every day I start off greeting them at the door. I have some signs that are on the outside of the door that are kind of reviewing things that we are doing in class, stuff that's in addition to the lessons that we're also doing. And so I always have a door question for them. I either ask them how they're doing, or other things. Like lately we've been reviewing how to say I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm sleepy, I'm angry, I'm confused, things like that. So that's our door question. That's something we do every day. We do a door question. Then they are able to come in. Then, as you can see here, I do a slide presentation every day. That's how I keep myself organized. So we always, every day, start off with le calendrier, which is basically we review what day it is, the date, and the weather. And sometimes even the temperature. I have one of them look up the temperature, and they have to say the temperature in French because that reviews the numbers that are higher than 20. So we do that. Then the next thing we do is a clochette, which is also called a bell ringer in English. So those are the two things we do every single day. All right. So la clochette, this happens to be the thing that we did. I can't remember what was the date. Oh, this was Wednesdays. So the clochettes I try to make about the same thing we'd be doing at the door. And that way it reviews them saying it, and it also reviews them seeing it and doing the matching and making sure they remember what means what. They're actually going to have a quiz this Friday on the 18th, which is tomorrow, on all of the expressions of feeling, angry, thirsty, hungry, all of that. So this is our clochette. I give them about 5 minutes to copy it down, and then we go over the correct answers. And I usually take a daily grade on it. I say, okay, who missed one, who missed two, or I go around and I check them. Or sometimes we trade and grade, but most of the time we just do it together. And then I give them a grade of how well they did. Now, this is actually a review of what we did the day before, which I do things like I tell stories with them. We actually do stories together in French. And so this was actually a story that we created using what's called Storyboard, or not Storyboard, but Story Builder. And so we did a volleyball translation, which means that I pair up the students, and one student says a sentence in French, the partner translates it, and then that partner says the second sentence in French, and then the other person translates it. And so it's volleying back and forth. So that's what we did yesterday. And then we also do an activity with it. It's usually a writing activity. And this happens to be my favorite scene. So they took the story and they took a couple of sentences, whatever their favorite sentences were. They wrote it down here in French. They drew the picture that represented that. And then they labeled two parts of it with one or two words in French. And so I took a grade on that. So that's basically what my everyday is. Always a clochette. We always talk about the calendar, and we do some sort of story, some sort of to introduce new vocabulary or to review. Lately we've been doing mostly review, just because it's of the issue last spring, and I know they lost a lot of what they learned. As far as Google Classroom goes, this is another thing I wanted to show you. This is how, now you're going to look at it from the teacher side because I don't have a student login, but let me go to my classroom here. So the classroom, like here's period 2. I have it divided into sections. Topics is what they call them. The face-to-face students no longer have a daily check-in unless they tell me ahead of time they're not going to be here for some reason, and then I will put in a daily check-in. And all they have to do is basically view the question and then click turn in, like this student happened to do that. All right, but let's go back. Okay, so I divide it up into sections by weeks, okay? So this was week 1, all the different activities. Now, obviously, we were virtual the first week, so everything back just the first 2 weeks were virtual. So I put all the assignments in Google Classroom. But once my face-to-face kiddos came back to school, I stopped doing that. You notice we only had, one day that was in Google Classroom. And obviously when I say virtual, I don't mean we actually had Google Meets. Because foreign language, at least for French and a lot of Spanish, were asynchronous. So I would do a video and post the assignment, and then they would do it. And so that's that. Now I can show you also when they are absent, okay? When they are absent, I have a section called If You Were Absent. Please have them check that day's assignment. It won't always be there in the morning, obviously, because I don't expect anyone to be absent. But by the afternoon, I will have something posted, and it will either just have a video of explaining what we did, or it will have something in there that we did, and they have to complete it, okay? So make sure that they check the If You Were Absent section. I can go and show you, now let's go to the virtual, okay? This is if you have a kid who's AVL. All right, so again, now the AVL kids, they have a daily check-in every day. And all they have to do is click on it and choose an answer and click turn in. There's no grade for it. There's a due date of before midnight that night. And that's all it is to let me know that they are present. Please have them do this every day. Again, I have theirs divided up into weeks as well. Right now we're in week 4, September 14th through 18th. And I leave the assignment stacked to where the most recent one is on top. So they simply have to click on the assignment. Here is the one for today. 12 have been assigned. Obviously, no one's done it yet, and that's okay. But what I do is I put in the instructions: complete the daily check-in, complete the clochette. I give my instructions typed. And this day, I didn't happen to do a video. Usually I do a video, but I thought my instructions were pretty well explained. And then I have the recordings that they need to listen to. They listen to the recordings, and then they complete the activity. Okay? And all they're doing here, they don't have a Google Doc to do. They are just doing it on a piece of notebook paper. And then they're taking a picture of it and uploading it because I want them to actually draw this time. So that is their activity, and that's what I try to do to make it to where it's easy for them to handle. Okay, so that is my French classes. Okay, now let's go on to English. All right. Actually, you know, I probably should do a separate one for English. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, so that was it for the French classes. I'm sorry. Have a great evening, and if you have any questions, go to my webpage, because this is where this video is, and you can email me. My extension's there. You can give me a call. I would love to talk to you if you need to talk. I love talking with parents. So, have a great evening. Thank you. And bye.